Hey friends, this is Chris.
And Yuji.
Welcome back. So we've got to talk about this crazy world that we live in. And let me give you an example. This is Jamie Dimon, the CEO over at JP Morgan. He had some interesting words about Elon Musk. So I'll read this together. It says, the guy is our Einstein, referring to Elon Musk, who is saying Elon Musk, Einstein. The guy, Elon Musk is Einstein, is what he.
Yeah, so Einstein.
Yeah, the Einstein. There's only one Einstein. Well, I guess he had kids and stuff, and I guess they're all named Einstein.
Yeah.
But there's only one Albert Einstein that we know about. I had to think about his first name. I guess I'm not an Einstein. But, well, I'm clearly definitely not an Einstein.
Yeah.
All right, so JP Morgan, the CEO the CEO of JP Morgan, Jamie Dimon, says the guy is our Einstein. I'd like to be helpful to him and his companies as much as we can. What he's saying. Elon and I hugged it out. Yeah, they hugged it out. So if you don't know, Jamie Dimon's wife was a big Kamala Harris supporter.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon didn't really publicly officially endorse anyone,
Yeah.
but he was it was reported that he went with his wife to some of the parties and stuff like that. You know, he's the CEO of a big company, so generally speaking, CEOs will stay neutral.
Neutral, yeah.
Generally speaking, or give money to both sides. That's something that happens as well. But let's just say this: a lot of people don't like Trump, but they don't necessarily say so publicly. Right.
Yeah, so now everyone kisses, Elon's ass.
Yeah, Elon and Trump. So we don't us specifically, but some people do it, as you're seeing with the JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon. So he says, Elon and I hugged it out. He came to one of our conferences. He and I had a nice long chat. We settled some of our differences, which is kind of interesting. And if you guys don't know, like, there's always been a lot of problems with Elon and how he pumps up his stock, lies about his products, and now he every day says frankly racist or conspiracy theories, all this kind of stuff. Jamie Dimon also says this is a good outcome for all, and we look forward to working together. So that's Jamie Dimon on Elon Musk. There's another related post, which I'm going to go over, and this will make sense when you guys understand this. This is from Sam Altman, the CEO over at OpenAI. And he's talking about President Trump, and we were just talking about how people are kiss butt these days.
Yeah.
Right? Sam Altman says, watching POTUS, or President of the United States, more carefully recently has changed my perspective on him. I wish I had done more of my own thinking and definitely fell in the NPC trap. So NPC stands for non-player character, the idea that you're just kind of following the matrix. I think that's how they interpret that. Yeah, like robot. You're not a human player. You're just an NPC. I'm not going to agree with him on everything. This is Altman with Trump, but I think he will be incredible for the country in many ways. Now you have to understand like why people are saying these kind of things. First, Altman, OpenAI, they give like I think it was $1 million to the Trump people during the inauguration. So inauguration is an interesting situation because, from my understanding, there was no limit on how much you could give.
Oh.
It was kind of a strange thing. It was just,
We do have limit.
yeah, we have weird laws.
So we do have limit. That's why some politicians they publish the book.
Mhm.
They buy tons of.
Oh yeah, right. So Trump, he does actually. Trump does have a book. He does have a book with that, but he didn't publish a new book. So what Trump did was, did we talk about this already? Do you remember? What is Trump selling? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, the Christmas.
Oh, okay, yeah. I even thought about that. He sells Christmas ornaments. That's correct. He actually,
Coin.
yeah. He sells the Trump coin. Melania's got a coin. What else do you remember that Trump sells? He sells a bunch of crap.
Gold,
Gold shoes. Gold shoes. Anything else you remember?
He says he's like card, right?
What's that?
His card. What it's called?
Christmas card? Oh, mugshot. Mugshot? No.
뭐라 그러지?
Oh, I don't know. What are you trying to say?
Like cyber card.
Oh yeah, NFT.
Yeah,
NFT. We call it NFT. Yeah. See, she remembers. We talk about this all the time. I was like, what the heck is Trump selling today? So we may not know. He also sells guitars.
Yeah.
He also sells Bibles. Yeah.
Bible.
The Trump Bible.
Trump Bible?
You should get
real Bible.
No, it's actually a Bible. This actually is a real Bible.
A real Bible, but Trump with Trump cover?
So how Trump's Bible is special, it puts I think it puts the American Constitution in there, so like our laws. But the way that they did it is that they wrote it so that states could buy it. And so then you would use taxpayer dollars. I think it was like And
It's
I
for
think
tax.
I think Nebraska might have bought it, but it's just corrupt. It's corrupt
Yeah.
because then what it was is
Everything it does.
then the school like this there was like a school person that really liked Trump, and so they had
Yeah.
all the schools in that state
Yeah.
buy the Trump Bible.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, obviously, in my
Yeah.
opinion, schools shouldn't be buying a bunch of Bibles in the first place because you're endorsing a religion, then you're endorsing a particular candidate's religion, and then there's a bunch of issues with that, of course. But the point being though is that a lot of money has been going to Trump and whatever, and for some of these people, like say Jamie Dimon. So just to be fair to Jamie Dimon, he's a business person. That's whoever the president or President Musk, President Trump. I'm gonna work with them, whatever. So that's a kind of a standard fare. The thing is, like, I want to point out, and I want you guys to think, and I want to talk with Eiji about this, is when did you realize that sometimes what people say in public is completely BS? That you pretend you like someone in public, but in private you like absolutely hate someone's guts. Like, when did you realize that this world existed? Is some
Even if you like elementary school,
Oh, you so okay. Do you remember? I don't know. Do you remember a story where like a kid told a lie about like that they like someone, but that they didn't, like they were less just lying?
No, it's like something like even if you don't like, math or language class, but you have to study. It's different.
No, it's not like that. Think of it. Think of it this way. It's kind of like, okay, it doesn't have to be elementary school, but like at a job. Okay, what's that?
What else, if in your school someone's like you can say like the popular kid, but
Mhm.
you don't really like her
Yeah, you don't like
or
the popular
him,
kid. Yeah.
but you gotta be nice to them. Just like that.
Yeah, and actually, it was funny. Someone wrote in the comment the other day because we have a lot of people in our community that write all sorts of comments. They said, no matter where you go in life, everything just ends up being like high school. So, like, there's the popular kid in school. You don't really like them, but for some reason, other people like them. So
Yeah,
you pretend to like them to be part of them.
you don't like your teacher, but you gotta be polite.
Yeah. Okay, that's a similar one.
Yeah.
So this is actually a general.
I didn't really like my, even when I was in college, I don't really like my professor, but you gotta be polite and use
Yeah,
smile.
sure. Absolutely. And you should always be polite to your boss.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, it's just part of the game. Actually, that's a good example for anyone that understands that. Like, you probably like a lot of people out there hate their boss, right? But you don't necessarily tell the boss to their face. The only time you tell them is at the very end, the very last day of work. You'll say that. Like, you can find.
No, you shouldn't do that because this is reference check.
Oh, that's a good
You
point.
shouldn't do it.
That's a good point. Okay, don't listen to me. I'm actually a bad example because I hate being fake and being like, this. We have this conversation.
No, but fake doesn't mean you're
Like you're
100%, like sincere truth.
right. Because okay. Well, one thing they always say is if you don't have anything nice to say at all, just don't say. You can say the same in Korean. Don't say anything at all. The
Better be quiet.
Yeah. So right now, what's happening in the USA, and a lot of people have been complaining, is many of the news channels are going too easy on Trump, or they're going too easy on Musk because he gave that whole we call it mustache party. The
Yeah.
mustache, the mustache party salute.
And they're kind of threat, I guess.
Um,
They don't like you, they're gonna just fire you, whatever. They're gonna stop you.
there is, I think, well,
Even one day, just my aunt called me.
oh, right.
Chris shouldn't say bad thing about Trump. They're gonna find you, and they're gonna, like do something to you. So, and
So they come from a different generation. In Korea, back in say the 80s.
martial law was real. Right?
Yeah. That stuff was real, and that's why I always recommend the movie 1987 if you guys haven't seen it, or 12/12 Today, or for example, the most recent Trump movie, The Apprentice. But all these things come into play for some people. And I understand it. They worry about their job. They want access to certain positions, but everything's a trade-off because real change doesn't happen unless we say take a stand, like don't
Yeah.
bow down, like you stand up and for what is right. Like right now, for example, just last couple of days it was this whole thing, Stargate, stupid thing. And I played a video because you haven't seen it. I don't think you've seen it yet, but I played a video because when you read what people say, opposed to actually what you hear what someone say, sometimes it's a little bit different. So Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, he did an interview with Fox News, and they asked him like, "Hey, people are kind of afraid about AI and doing evil stuff and stuff like that." And his answer, if you ever listen to it, I'll just say he just talks really really fast, like really really fast, and it's like you watch this guy like, do you believe the words that you're saying? He doesn't even sound like a human. It just sounds like, do you know when someone's sort of like reading a script or reading a contract,
Yeah, yeah,
and you just read it like really fast? You don't really believe anything that you said. And his answer was really stupid. He said, so not only did he say it weird, he said the answer was kind of dumb. He said, um, we're worried if people who are worried that AI is going to do bad things. Well, on balance, it'll be better than bad or something like that. So he didn't say that there's gonna be no bad things. He's like, well,
No, I see.
it'll end up being better. Just trust me, bro. Um, but this is the culture that we're in right now. For those and kind of for me, where I made the, I don't know if the right turn is the right word or whatever. Um, is really Elon's behavior, because normally we would talk on the channel. I'd actually completely avoided the whole conspiracy theory stuff. I wouldn't mention Elon's racism. It was obvious, but I wouldn't mention it because we're mostly I'm just here to talk about Tesla and money, and that was the easy conversation, right? Because it's overvalued, their cars don't work, and all this, and that's fun to talk about this kind of stuff because Elon would always lie about how awesome the cars are. But then like suddenly Elon gets really aggressive, and it was the summer. I don't know if it was on the Korean news, but in the UK, all these people are like throwing. Oh, I showed it to you. They were like fighting and stuff. Do you remember this?
I remember
And
the
there,
riots.
yeah, and there was one where like someone took a so I'll just be honest, like it looks funny because people were laughing at it, but it's actually not funny at all. Someone threw like a garbage can at someone and it hit him and knocked him down. So like the way they showed it, it looked kind of funny, but it's not funny. Like if you understand this is actual violence, I'm not making a joke. I'm just telling you like the way that the Musk people would kind of show things violence as being kind of funny,
Funny,
but it's not funny if you think about it.
yes.
Like no, you're actually hurting. You're throwing someone at someone and they're
That
falling
was
down.
back to high school, you're bullying someone.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
think it's funny, right?
yeah. So that's actually, now that we go back to the high school thing, the Trumps and the Musks, they're basically high school bullies.
The worst because they have real power.
Yo, right. You actually
Real
right.
power. They fired a bunch of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You actually that is a good point.
Yes,
They're bullies with real power.
they're playing with people's lives.
Yeah. And to them, and the reason why I always tell you guys that these people are born rich and don't care about you is, I was thinking about this just this morning, where like, for those of you who say worked at a restaurant, 'cause we went out to lunch today, you guys know what prep work means. It means before the restaurant opens, you gotta, be in the kitchen, clean up everything, prepare all the food ahead of time. For like we had spaghetti basically, and prepare the sauce ahead of time, do all this work. Whereas the rich person comes in to be like, why is the food too slow, and why does it taste so bad, or like you just complain. They have no concept of like if the restaurant's busy, or this person's been at work for 4 hours already, or just any number of reasons. They've never had that experience of ever having a real job. Well, I don't want to say real jobs, or whatever, just
Don't care.
they just haven't that experience. So then they have no idea what it like to like struggle. I give example. It was actually George. Everyone always talks about this. It was George Bush's dad had never been to a grocery store before, and then he went to the grocery store one time, and they're like, "What's this scanner thing? When did you get the scanners?" It's like they never been to, Or the other one was funny because Jamie Dimon was the what's that?
Same as in Korea, also, many of congressmen, they don't know how much is the bus ticket.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they don't know how much is taxi, the fee. They
Do you,
don't
do
know.
you remember the green onion controversy in Korea? Do you remember that?
Green onion?
Yeah, that was.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
yeah.
you explain that? Explain that. What was that?
I don't know who was that.
That was you. No, I'm pretty sure that was you.
Was it?
Pretty sure it was not you. It could be someone else,
I don't remember.
but the basic gist was that people were just complaining about the price of food, essentially, right?
Yeah, why is it expensive? But that was the actual price, and it wasn't expensive, right?
Right.
It's like probably $2.
$2 or $3, yeah. The point is that this particular
Yeah.
politician, not regular, just this particular politician had no concept of like,
No,
oh, food's expensive. Yeah.
actual living price, they don't know.
So this goes back. All these things connect. Is basically what I'm telling you is that these people are out of touch. They don't understand regulars' lives, and then for them, it's all a joke. You mentioned the job thing. Like Trump announced that, hey, we're just going to fire a bunch of federal workers, a bunch of government workers, and like he said, go on leave. And I don't even know if that's legal. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of lawsuits. He did. I haven't seen the exact number. It was announced before he was going to do a 50 to 100. They call it orders, but it's like just crazy changes. So his desk, I showed a picture in the last video, had like these pile of orders on it. He did that like all in day one, and all the people who like Trump, they say, "Oh, see, he's a great president. He's all these wonderful things quickly."
Yeah.
The problem was this a lot of this stuff hasn't well let's say there's a lot of legal problems with all these things, right? And already when the Doge thing,
Mhm.
so Trump signed an order that Doge's existence, immediately there were 3 lawsuits, and I think maybe even 4, because it, like, for example, if you have a government agency, for example, you have to be public on how much you're paying people. You have to be public on how are you hiring people. Like you have to,
Or you fire
yeah,
people.
all these things have to be public. So and another example is like they said something like if you do public communication electronically these days, like Zoom, then you have to make that public. Like
Mhm.
there's reasons why we do things the way we do in government is because this is taxpayer money, and you want to keep record of things like
Yeah.
receipts. But these kind of people like Trump and Musk, they're not. They want to keep it as secret as possible, hire their friends, all these kind of things. So you know, all these things connect because like I knew what Musk was doing with Tesla. I could see it with my own eyes. We covered earnings call, so we'll do earnings call again. Yage and I. That'll be in like 10 days from
10
now.
days.
Yeah, the last earnings call. Do you remember we talked about this? It was like 2 months ago.
Mm.
I don't know if you remember. I'll remind you if you don't remember. So, for example, they asked Musk, "Hey, what's going on with that car that you said you were gonna bring out?"
Since they would like to make
Yeah, you remember. You remember. Yeah.
promise they're not gonna make it.
Yeah. His first answer was like, "Oh, well, we would like." I mean, like, yeah, that was his first answer. We would like.
Now they're talking about whole Mars.
Yeah, but the point is like, I was the only one that called that out. It was obviously anyone who listened to and there was more than that. It was. I'm just saying there were multiple things that they say. It's,
So afraid of that.
they could be. I guess
They are, I think.
it's possible. Some people have said, and who knows, that because we're not in USA, we're in Korea, that maybe that we feel safer. But who knows? Maybe if you're in USA, you just feel like Elon is spying on you,
Sure.
that kind of stuff. I don't know.
Sure. We should change to Samsung phone.
Yeah, right. Maybe. Well, because the Stargate thing
Yeah.
is OpenAI, and all the new iPhones are gonna now have a Chat GPT. Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, we don't have an ours because we have the older phones, but yeah. So that's part of the problem with right now in our system is so the word we say is oligarchy.
Yeah.
But
So that
what's it?
means they're gonna spying on us for 20 hours.
That's a real
24
concern actually.
hours. Yeah.
Phones and cars can record you.
They
Whatever.
listen to you, all
Yeah.
the time. Hey Genie and hey Siri, and they answer.
Yeah.
Hey Siri.
Yours is not working.
No.
My, mine works. Maybe you turn yours off. But the what was I gonna say? But going back to the what's that?
Actually, I speak English. I need to speak Korean.
Oh, do you want if you want to demonstrate, you can. If the people don't believe you,
Genie, Siria,
you
Siria.
have it on mute probably.
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Siri works. I don't know why yours doesn't work. Like mine just came on when you're talking. Anyway, the thing with the surveillance stuff is Chat GPT and OpenAI, they're doing the Stargate, right? And people were concerned that like, hey, you're gonna be on our iPhones now, you're gonna be with Microsoft also. That the smaller companies have no chance to do contract with Apple. That's what a oligarchy or slash monopoly looks like. You see what I'm saying? Like, and then you got President Trump that you just bought off. That means the government's not going to investigate you. There's real problems with our market. And then they make the argument that we're bringing you this great technology, but for anyone who understands the stuff that they're saying, it's all nonsense. The same way that Musk keeps talking about going to Mars. Somebody pointed out in the comments earlier today that because the Trump party, they don't believe in science. They just don't. Is that it was funny that Musk is selling people this trips to Mars. Like
That is edge of the science.
yeah.
Like,
These people don't believe in science. It's weird.
yeah.
The match.
That's the core of science. Every science, how can I say
What do you mean?
that?
Oh, if we were to theoretically be able to do that.
To Mars.
Yeah,
Yes.
theoretically. But that's where the Jamie Dimon thing becomes important. You have to understand someone like a Jamie Dimon over at JP Morgan, he may or may not understand the science. I don't know. I don't know what his situation is. But when they go on TV and tell you, oh, Elon's a genius, Elon is Einstein, people actually believe that crap because I'll see it in the comments. They'll say, "But Chris, you're wrong. I heard Jamie Dimon say that Elon's Einstein." Or another example.
I told you,
What's that?
Korean news, they're showing very little bit of good part of American news, right?
Oh, right. Yeah. Do you want to explain that?
Yeah, what is some of my friends said, oh, I saw Elon invent the Tesla, the founder of Tesla. They're really powerful. They protect, they want to protect
Yeah.
America, but yeah, that's the regular Korean thing about
Like the news wouldn't show you everything that they say. You know, like for example, just today, and I don't show you guys everything because some people actually complain if I show too much Trump video because they don't want to hear his voice. But Trump today was calling. He was saying the Democrats are dogs and that they cheated, and he goes on and on about that kind of stuff. And it's
same here, same.
Yeah, Yoon is the same kind of stuff.
The other party all cheated. They changed the voting system.
Yeah, or they're working all with North Korea.
Yeah,
that kind of it's frankly nonsense, and it's hard the world that we live in because people fall. In my opinion, they believe obvious liars. It's strange, and it's a combination of they want the easy answer of all your problems is based on it's all based on the dark people, whatever.
Blame something.
Yeah, blame something else. Right. So I the reason why our channel is so different than other channels is because we just talk like human beings. Because even say channels that hate Trump, they bring on Democrat politicians all the time, and they're just basically repeating. We say party line, whatever the party wants you to do. So they're too much in the party. They're not really independent, right? So even if
you're
what's that?
Say different voice, then you're the traitor. That's what happened here.
Yeah, I mean that's a complicated that's a complicated issue. What's that?
For the impeachment, the youth party, 10 people, they agreement to the impeachment, so they're start calling them a passenger, right?
Oh, you mean in Yoon's party?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, so President Yoon, the president of Korea, called an illegal martial law, basically tried to overthrow the government with the military. Um, the people rejected it, even people in the military rejected it. Then they impeached the guy, right? And then when Yoon's party would try to stop the impeachment, the other party would call out their names, okay?
Yeah. And, they needed 10 more.
Yeah, I know. So you needed, yeah, explain.
Oh, so they did 뭐라 그러지?
A vote?
Yeah, vote. It's not the public vote.
Oh, they did a private vote.
It was private vote.
Oh, okay.
So the 10 people, but before 10, 3 people was publicly, issued to impeachment.
Right.
So the party, started calling them, the traitors. But it's not really because they can do they have their, opinion.
Right.
If voting is their right, not the party's right. So
the way modern politics works, so you would like to have representatives that independently, because we all have a brain to say, okay, I'm gonna decide whatever law or legislation based on what I think is the best thing. But the way you could say not just modern politics, you say any politics works is that okay, if I have something that I want to do in my city or my state, then I need to support someone else. And if I expect them to support me, then we all support each other. So then you form these parties to get stuff done, and then you all end up agreeing on stuff that you may not necessarily agree with. So the real issue then is that if the leaders of your party are pushing you in directions that makes everyone feel like you have to be part of the team, and so the Trump situation, for example, he's just dragging that whole party down the gutter. Some people would argue it's been like that for a long time. We can debate on which policy we agree or disagree. Trump is so far, out of bounds in the stuff that he says. I'll give you another simple example. So it's a tradition for us to where, say, when one president leaves, another president comes in. The leaving president actually writes a kind letter and just, good luck at being the next president. Just a polite kind of, we say, handing off of power, right? And you remember when Trump lost to Biden, he wouldn't do it. He's like, "Oh, you cheated," and blah blah blah, and like he wouldn't. He never admits that he lost. Really, he still says the other side cheats. Like we say sore loser, bad loser, that kind of stuff. Trump's a loser. It's
just spoiled kids.
Yeah, that's exactly what
they just crying out when they lose the running.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to have conversations these days in USA because, frankly, you have a party that's by a spoiled brat, and then you got Elon Musk who's also a spoiled brat. So the story I always tell, it's in his book. It's in his Musk book, so I'm not just making random stuff up. So the way they tell the story, the author says it's a positive thing. The story is that Elon Musk saw like a computer game in a magazine or something like that, and he really wanted to buy a computer. Now, at that time, Elon Musk's a kid. He lives in South Africa. Computers are expensive back then. Elon Musk and I are about the same age, so I know this. I live. I mean, they're expensive. I couldn't just say, "Hey, please buy me a computer." And so then,
What people would say, man, it's like car price.
I don't know if it's that. Maybe, but it was not cheap. Um, so what Elon Musk did, the story is that he stood in the living room and just stood there and said, "Dad, buy me a computer. Dad, buy me a computer. Dad, buy me a computer." And the way the author of the book says, like, see, Elon was strong and stubborn, and he demanded his dad to buy him a computer.
Come on, you
It's a-
kids,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And I read that story, and I'm like, this is a load of crap. And there's a bunch of stories in there like that about Elon. The author tries to make it sound really
Yeah.
positive. Like, this is such garbage. And the thing is, like, if you actually
Your daughter standing in the
yeah, in the living room say, mommy, buy me this, buy me that.
I want
Like,
Chanel bag. I want Air Max. Just give me that. Give me that. I want diamond.
yeah. So the author tried to make that being positive, but
So yeah.
Elon's got a long history of people don't like him. Actually, he gets kicked out
know.
of his companies, and so with the whole, it's not just Elon, it's the Trump and Elon. They kind of behave the same way. And I always have to mention this. People don't know Elon and and Trump.
I just hope they fight each other.
They are right now already.
Yeah, but they're real fight. But
Oh,
they're still doing, like doing
in
the
public, right? But already the Vivek guy has been kicked out. Stuff like that.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I was gonna mention, like, Elon, Trump, and I, we all went to the same school, University of Pennsylvania. So I've been around these kind of kids before. I know how it is, and things are different behind closed doors. And when you go to these places, what people always talk about, always, they're like, oh, he comes from a family that makes that much money, that much. Like, people are always talking about how much family, how much people's. I was never into that world. I didn't make friends because someone's daddy was rich. That's not me. Now, other people, I understand.
Yeah, those kind of people.
For some people,
check, how much your company.
sure.
Paying.
But for some people, that's their
Right.
their mind is like, I just want to get a good job at Goldman Sachs, and I want to meet the person's daddy. Who's
Yeah.
Some people think that way. I just don't think that way because I don't want to be the part of that stuff.
That's why we do YouTube.
Yeah, that's exactly why. That's why I don't really want to be on Wall Street with all those kind of people. And I don't want to be hanging out with Jamie Dimon pretending I like Donald Trump and Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So if you guys understand what I'm saying, and I know from some people's point of view, they say, "Oh, Chris, you're so dumb. Money's the most important thing in the world. Don't you know? You should go get the money because Donald Trump, he's got the money. It's going to be amazing, right?" So not everybody wants to be like that and kiss up. It's not. That's true. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later, and appreciate you watching. So, bye.